Welcome back to Studio F, where on Fast Times Willy B, we'll be reviewing 28 Days Later. Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
Russell.
Welcome back to Fast Times Willy B. I'm Willy B. I've got Kory back with me. Kory, how are we doing, man?
Feels good to be back. I don't know what that is, but I'm excited about it.
Other than the heat, right?
Yeah, this sucks.
I'm gonna complain about it all week.
Okay.
Every episode of Fast Times this week's just gonna be, God, you're gonna. I mean, you could probably see me sweating, so
That's fine. Yeah, me too. I was sweating before I got in here, so.
I'm ready for fall, man.
Oh my god. Skip it to winter at this point.
This
I
week,
don't even care.
This week did me in.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god. The last 4 days.
I wasn't even here this week. It's just
hell.
today did me in.
Do people? Is it widely known what state you live in?
Yeah, I mean, most people know I'm
Ohio, brutal the last 4 days. My God, I got a dehumidifier. Yeah. I have always thought they did nothing, and I never cared for them. Yeah. I got one today.
Oh, the basement's a game changer right now.
Yeah,
the humidifier down there.
One, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The basement's the only room in the house that feels like it's worth living in.
Been staying down there.
Yeah.
Good call. Good call.
But we're gonna review 28 Days Later in honor of 28 Weeks, which just came out, but we're doing it a week late due to me being on vacation.
Yep.
But it was a movie-related vacation. I got to experience Amity Island.
Yeah. Happy 50th, Jaws.
Yes.
We love you.
Love that. Jerk.
Will loves you. It's fine.
We'll let you slide today. But 28 Days Later, we both just watched this for the first time. You, a couple months ago? Not even?
Not long ago. It was like maybe a month and a half ago.
I was going to say, I just watched it yesterday. So,
yeah,
we
yeah.
finally got to it 23 years later. But, you know, in the honor of 28 years later, we had to.
Yeah.
But we hopped back to 2002 for this first one. Written by Alex Garland and directed by Danny Boyle. So, right there, you got it.
Heck of a combo.
And then you find out it's starring Cillian Murphy and Brendan Gleeson. You're like, oh, I'm buckled in.
I didn't know Brendan Gleeson was in it at all.
Neither did I. Yeah. When that scene came around and they meet Frank and Hannah, I'm like, is that Brendan Gleeson? And so I looked at the cast list. I was like, what the hell? I did not know he was in this.
Yeah, a young Naomi Harris, too.
Yeah.
I was like, who? Do I know this person? Yeah. Do you know who's in the next one, really? Keep it that way.
Okay.
Every 20 minutes, you'll go, really?
Yeah, okay.
Just let it go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I won't look up the cast list before 28 weeks.
It's
but,
interesting.
Yeah, so we've got some heavy hitters very early in especially Murphy's career.
Yeah.
But we'll start with the good.
Yep.
And the first thing the good is just the rage virus.
Oh my God. What a take.
Probably the scariest take on zombies.
It's the only one that creeps me out even a little bit.
Because it's not like they're not killing you because they're hungry. They're killing you because they're pissed at everything.
Yes.
And they run. They're still alive.
Yeah. That's the thing that scares me is the fact that it's like, they're not the dead reawakened.
No, they have all of their strength. They have, like...
They're just incredibly, like, sick.
Yeah.
And, like, insane.
Yeah, they're just peeved off at the world.
That's terrifying, dude.
Yeah.
And the first time you see one of them, creepy as hell.
Dude,
in the church.
Yes.
That's
such a good
maybe
scene.
my favorite shot in the whole movie.
It's up there, because you're about 15 minutes in at this point, and it's just him walking around this abandoned... city.
London.
Yeah. And he just like screams out hello, and then you just see two like, and you're like, dude. Oh shit,
and the eyes,
and then father comes through the door.
Oh my god.
And dude.
And also the way the movie starts off, not at all how you expect a zombie movie to start.
I did not expect Cillian Murphy's dick to be the first thing I see.
Not that, but that's funny. I was talking about the monkeys in the cages and whatever.
Oh, that's
like
fair.
How
that's
the
fair,
start.
Yeah.
We'll get to
that's
that.
Fair. That's
we'll
fair.
Get to that. That's in the good dick, Cillian. The monkeys. That part just really got to me. That it felt like Planet of the Apes or whatever, when it's like trying to break out Caesar from the like. I was like, why is this starting off with a monkey? And then finding out that that's where it starts, I'm like, what a wild and interesting take. The eyes are terrifying, dude.
I was a little confused at the beginning, too, because the screens were showing just, like, chaos and rage, and I was like, oh, this is the aftermath, and then we're gonna do like a hop back.
Yeah.
But then it zooms out, and it's like this monkey just taking in everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where are we going from here? And then I started to catch on. And I was like, oh,
yeah,
that's interesting.
You're also confused because you're like, they're zombies, but like it threw up on them or whatever, and it's like, oh no, like it's a virus. So like if you get it in your bloodstream, you're fucked. Yeah. That's it. You don't have to be bitten. It's none of that. Like, I can't believe it took this long to get a take on the zombie virus until like that is so interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, Killian's got a good dick.
Sure.
Yeah. Shave that thing, man. Really surprising though, by the way. I remember sitting there with our buddy Austin being like, whoa.
Yeah.
Get to the zombies. Jesus.
Just shows his dick and starts playing the Cranberries.
Yeah.
Zombie. You're like, no, that's not what I meant.
Yeah. That's funny.
No, it's a really good start. And I think starting it too, like, I liked the take that he was in a coma while it's all happening.
Yeah.
So it's like you get the 28 days later, ... and then it's him, and you're like, this guy has no idea what's going on.
I always wondered why it was called 28 Days Later. And then whenever the penny drops, you're like, oh my God. Yeah. That's wild.
We also get 56 days later in this movie.
That is true.
Or 28 more days.
Yeah,
but,
right.
No, I liked that because I was like, you have your guesses. And I was like, that makes sense. I thought that we were going to watch a movie that takes place over 28 days. Not that we'll get this monkey scene and then boom, it's 28 days later.
Yeah.
So
my assumption was like, it took 28 days for the zombie virus to like kick off or something, which is kind of right, but not really.
So it's funny because this movie is now 23 years old. I went into it pretty blind.
Me too.
I knew Cillian Murphy was in it. I knew who the directors and writers were.
I knew the empty shots of London. That's it.
I knew the rage virus concept, but
didn't even know that.
Like that they were just pissed. I didn't know about the blood transfusion. Like I didn't know about the monkey stuff. Like so all of that was new to me. But like other than knowing that it was called the rage virus and it's more of a take on them being angry, everything else was like I had no idea that they'd end up at a military base that's trying to sex slave women. Like all of that was like,
oh my God, yeah. Like honestly, the wild thing about it is the first half of the movie's about like zombie shit. The second half, really not.
No, it's...
Honestly, the heart of the film, the zombie virus is more of the setting, not really the story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, once Selena and Jim find Frank and Hannah, they catch this radio wave, and from there, it's less so, like you said, zombies. Once Frank gets the blood drop, which,
what a brutal way to go out.
Because
it's like you didn't even do anything wrong.
No.
You just like happened to look up when a crow was like, that sucks, man. Getting a blood drop in your eye.
And shout out Hannah because the performance right there, my heart was sinking.
So bad.
Yeah.
It was so bad for her. Yeah.
But that's when we get introduced to military guys, and from there, basically it's people versus people.
Yeah. Like, there's like one point where they're like shooting infected as they're coming towards the wall, and that's like it.
Yeah. And then I mean, they kind of unleash the one. I can't think
that's
of his
right.
name.
The one that was like on a chain or whatever.
What do they call him?
Leroy. I don't know.
It wasn't Leroy.
I just said the name.
Mailer, something like that.
Maybe.
Mailer, I think it was.
I don't remember.
Mailer.
Well, I remember
Mailer looked insane.
Yeah.
The eyes on Mailer, like Mailer was nightmare fuel.
It's the fact that it's not just red; it's like red and yellow.
Yeah.
Something about that combo is really unsettling.
Yeah. But he's basically like all we get of it in the final showdown, and he turns more of them into
honestly
the enraged, but
he's just a distraction, really.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. What a scene, though. By the way, Cillian Murphy it is kind of funny to think that this skinny guy who's just like, how old is he supposed to be? Like 21 maybe or something like that.
Not that old.
He just takes out like a bunch of those dudes and just fucking
with the help.
Outsmarts him.
Yeah. That's basically what it is. It's all strategy,
But he's just walking around with his shirt off and a Bowie knife. Like,
yeah. Goes Rambo on him.
Dude.
You got the rain. It's like you just got everything you want in this scene going on for you,
If we're talking vibes, man, this movie's got something different. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the fact that they like I should have looked up the specifics of it, but I can't remember. But they shot on like a lower resolution, lower frame rate, and it's very jarring at first if you're not expecting it.
Yeah,
I kind of
mind
wish.
it.
At first I was like, I don't know about this. And honestly, after I watched the movie, I was like, it was like really good. I was like, just the kind of weirdness of it, I don't know. I'm not kidding. It grew on me like crazy over like a week. It grew on me heavily over time.
Yeah, because when I was first starting the movie, I didn't know the whole movie was going to be like that. I thought maybe I had just seen some clips that were like not perfect.
See, I thought it was going to be just like the scene where he's just looking around, there's no one around, and then it would cut to like, you know, your regular like 35 millimeter, whatever, you know.
It makes it feel more grounded though.
It does. Well, I think that was the intention, is they said it was supposed to make it feel more like a
home movie.
like a home movie documentary, like just make it feel like something that actually happened.
Yeah.
Which I think it does effectively work in that way. You just, if your friends are watching it, just like warn them of that.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Or not, I don't know. Because again, for me, it shocked me, but as it sat with me over the weeks and weeks, I was like, that movie's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Crap. And now I've been wanting to rewatch it ever since.
Yeah. It was a really good take on the zombie concept. I've never been a huge zombie fan.
I've never really been a zombie fan.
Like, if you're talking like the basic monsters that you get throughout Hollywood, I've always loved werewolves. I've always loved vampires. People know that about me. Yeah. Especially you. Zombies is one that's never like, anytime a zombie movie hits the theaters, I've got to go see that. There's still a lot of zombie movies I haven't seen. I just got to Return of the Living Dead not too long ago. Love that movie. But Night of the Living Dead, which is like the classic, I just got to that maybe a year or two ago for the first time.
Haven't watched either of those.
I've seen the first Zombieland. I still haven't caught anything after Night of the Living Dead.
When it comes to zombies, I mostly catch like the comedic zombie stuff more than anything.
Like people talk about like World War Z. I haven't seen
I've seen World War Z.
Zombies just were something that never. I've seen Warm Bodies.
World War Z, I've seen that too.
So I don't have the biggest sample size is where I'm going with this. Yeah. But this might have been my favorite take on zombies.
Oh, it's by far my favorite take on zombies.
Yeah.
By far. Because like the other versions, like World War Z, I kind of hate that movie, but only because nobody shut the fuck up about that movie for like 2 years. Yeah. And I always thought it was good, but I was like, it's a zombie movie. Let's like fucking let's get over it. But it is a pretty great movie.
And then I've seen not all of The Walking Dead, but I saw like I stopped after like 5 seasons.
Speaking of The Walking Dead, Austin opened my mind to this. After we watched it, we hung out yesterday and watched 28 Weeks. He showed me the opening episode to The Walking Dead. Basically just this movie. Yeah. Like the beginning of the movie where he wakes from the hospital. Literally, like, it's almost like exactly the same. Yeah. It's very strange.
Yeah, this is, I would say my favorite zombie movie is still Return of the Living Dead. Just love that movie. Yeah. Excited to see what they come out with on Christmas as far as that sequel that they're making goes. This is, concept-wise, my favorite concept on zombies. Sure. Like the rage virus and how they work. I think I like that more than any rendition of zombie I've seen. Yeah. But as overall movie, it's still, I mean, you'll hear my score when we get to it. It's still up there. Yeah, yeah. But Return of the Living Dead, man, has a soft spot. I fell in love with that movie the moment I watched it. Shout out Russell. He was the one that told me to watch it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Russell.
But, no, super cool concept. And Rage Virus is something that if we're going to experience zombies in the real world, please don't let it be that.
That's what I'm saying. If, literally, I think I can do at least okay in any of them except for that one. Yeah. Yeah, or like the I Am Legend one, which I can't even tell if those are vampires or zombies, honestly. They're like a weird blend of both. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of great stuff in here. The music, John Murphy.
Fantastic.
Phenomenal. Yeah. Oh my God. A bunch of his music in that movie is recycled. Like the theme alone is reused in a couple movies. Kick-Ass, mainly being the one that comes to mind. That was my introduction to John Murphy. I love John Murphy. He's doing Superman in 2 weeks.
Hell yeah.
So, big fan, but, like, my introduction was that, and then watching the original form, I was like, oh, shit, the context is way different.
Yeah.
Here, this is depressing as fuck. And that's the biggest thing I like about these movies.
Yeah.
They're sad.
Yeah.
They suck. There's hope.
The scene when he goes back home and reads the note, dude.
Oh my god, with his parents, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Not what you expect. You're like, oh, you're going to walk in and they're going to start running at him or whatever. It's just dead.
Yeah.
Laying by a... And they're also half naked, which was funny, but...
Yeah. I expected horror. I expected zombies. Mm-hmm. I didn't expect as much pain and as much romance.
Yeah.
As we get with the story of Jim and Selena.
Yeah, that also shocked me, because really, whenever they meet, I'm like... Are they going to do a romance thing? And then pretty quickly, I'm like, I don't think they're going to. Because
I didn't think they would either.
They, like, hated each other.
Yeah.
And then, like, slowly... I mean, I think the truth is, if it weren't for a virus, I do not think those two people would date. But, like...
Probably not.
But, like, there's nothing else to
do. He could have just ran away, too, so that's probably a part of it, you know?
That's true.
Coming back and fending off 7 military men.
Well, that's definitely the point where it's like, he at the very least is like... I'm not about to be alone without these people.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm sure there's like, spark some stuff.
I mean, one of the most underrated scenes of this movie, in my opinion, that I don't know if anyone feels, it might be properly rated. I just feel like it is probably not talked about enough. And that's the scene when Frank says, it's okay, you're just having a nightmare. And he goes, thanks, Dad. That scene, I was like, oh.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. See, that's what I mean. Like,
see, I love
scene,
that, but I forgot that he said, thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
Oh man!
And you get Brendan Gleeson with a little smile.
That's
like
so sad. Yeah. And the daughter too was like.
So like in such a quick time, these people form this relationship, and it goes on to the writing. I think this movie was very well written.
Yeah, for sure. And the daughter's like begging to like, can I have some of these drugs or.
Yeah.
You know, whatever it was to help her sleep and shit. And it was...
The grocery store scene was kick-ass, too.
Oh, yeah.
That's like the holy grail of a zombie apocalypse, finding a grocery store that untouched.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
That would be the best case scenario.
Are you kidding me?
We're going to the cakester aisle, man.
Dude, we're going to the cakester.
You can't get stuff they have to cook. The Oreo cakesters, man.
It's true.
I'm letting diabetes take me out before zombies.
You know what, man? I'm with you. Somehow you've turned me around on this thing.
I'm going to be a crawler, but alive.
Yep.
Because my feet fall off.
Oh my god. You're gonna be crawling with nubs.
Yeah. But no, it is. It's a really good movie. I'm glad I finally got to it. I'm excited to watch weeks and years, despite what I don't know anything going into either movie. I just know the reception of both. So I know 2's a little bit lower, and I've heard great things about years, so I'm excited to see both. But this first one, I can see why it has the following it has.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely got that, like, it's not a mainstream movie, I would say. I think with 20 years, I think things are kicking up with it again. But, like, well, not to mention, it's fucking impossible to find this movie.
It really is.
Because of the licensing agreement and whatever.
I'm very happy with how available they've made it with years coming out.
Yeah. Same with
because before this year, dude, if you didn't own it, you couldn't watch it.
You literally couldn't stream it.
Yeah.
You couldn't. And before the internet, sounds like if you didn't run across it on DVD somewhere, you just ain't fucking getting it. Yeah. You ain't watching
Speaking, the physical media at this point is an arm and a leg to purchase.
Oh my god.
So
it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So yeah. I was very great. Like the minute I saw that it was, because they advertised it, they're like, hey, you can rent this on Prime Video. I literally immediately was like, watch list.
Yep.
I was like, it's either this or I gotta order this shit from China.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, yeah, it's fucking awesome. And also respect to the fact that, like, it's very obviously a very low budget movie.
For sure.
And they hide it in a lot of impressive ways.
Yeah.
Like, for one, at the beginning when there's like an empty London or whatever, they just shot that at like a really early time in the morning, and there was a couple people out and they just were like, you don't have to say yes to this legally, but can you please clear out so we can do this? Yeah. And people were like nice enough to oblige. Like they do a really good job of papering over that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
It's very impressive.
Yeah.
And also another thing too, if we're talking lighting, this definitely has a different, more realistic lighting kind of situation.
Yeah.
Because it's not like it's dark, but you can see. There are times where it's like, it's dark and it's just fucking dark.
Yeah, yeah. Especially when the scene when they're being chased up the stairs. Yep. When they're going to Frank and Hannah.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Was this the start for Boyle and Garland? Or did they do anything before this?
I
feel like...
pretty sure
pretty
this
early.
is the start, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Probably should have
I'm
looked it up,
interested
but
to find
yeah.
out. Nah. Yeah, it's weird.
Because obviously we've seen, especially Garland, what he's done recently in A24. And he's, what? A24 alone, Annihilation. Is Annihilation A24? I know Ex Machina is, Warfare, Civil War. Like, he's basically signed his life over to A24 at this point.
Right,
but,
right.
Great movies.
Yeah, for sure. And Danny Boyle's made some good movies too. Like the movie Sunshine.
Yeah.
Fucking, that movie's awesome.
Yeah. So, I didn't know if this was like both their start or if they did anything before this.
Yeah, I'll be interested to find because their trajectories. I had no idea that this was like such a strong collaboration they had.
Yeah.
And now it makes sense why people were like, we need these two guys to work together forever. It's like, yeah, they work. Sure. They obviously work well together.
For sure.
Yeah.
Anything else in the good?
Nope, pretty much almost the whole thing is good.
Yeah.
Very good.
We can hop over to the meh. I don't have anything in the bad. The only thing, I was gonna say the big thing I'd probably put in the meh is I could have used more of the rage virus. Like you said, how it kind of turns into a people versus people in the second half of the film. I would have been down for more of the zombie stuff.
Yeah, I felt the same way. I was like, I'm not mad that there isn't more.
That's how I am.
But like, the stuff that was there was so good. I'd like to see a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's not anything that killed the movie for me. It's
major.
just me being like, give me more, give me more. Me being greedy.
Yeah.
What do you have in the meh?
I would say editing, but only in the sense that, like, I don't think it's bad editing. I think it's very experimental, and I think it's interesting.
That's fair.
And I think it does work a lot of the time, doing some different stuff very impressively. So I would mostly put it in the good for that. But there are times where there's some editing stuff that I'm like, this is just too much.
How'd you feel about the sound? I know you're a big sound guy.
Sound is not great, but again, I'm not. See, that's one of those layers though, where I'm like, I don't know if that was intentional or not.
I think it fits with the camera.
Exactly.
So that's where it didn't.
Camera.
When I first started the movie, it really bothered me.
Oh, me too.
The sound more so than the camera quality.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah.
Well, it was kind of that thing you showed me. If a video sounds better, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it was really bothering me because when he was screaming "hello," one would be volume 80, and the next would be volume 20, and I'm like, what is going on with the sound grading and all that? But
it's. I think it's probably a stylistic choice.
Yeah.
It feels unfinished, untampered with. It seems like they got it as perfect as they could on the day, to the point of where it's like it's almost passable.
Yeah.
And they intentionally left it there. You know? Yeah. It's not like it's bad. It's pretty good if that's what you have on the day, but there's a lot of work to do after.
No, it grew on me like the camera quality. It just took a little more.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. And part of the meh also, I am gonna kind of put the resolution stuff in there because if you're not expecting it, it's pretty fucking distracting. Sound and visually.
Yeah.
It is pretty fucking distracting.
But for some reason, I thought you were talking like the resolution of the movie, and I'm like, no, I like the ending.
No.
I see what you're saying now.
I love the ending. And I'm putting it in the meh because I wouldn't say it drags the movie for me. It's just something that I do think about.
Yeah.
But again, I'll take something that has a lot of I'll think about it versus a lot of mehs that are just like, this was whatever and this was whatever.
Yeah.
They're not whatever mehs. They're just like, these are interesting. I don't know if it's completely pulled off.
Yeah, for sure.
That's it.
I don't think I have anything else in the meh. Like I said, for the most part, this movie's good for me.
Yeah.
Anything else for you?
No, I think that's it for the meh.
Okay.
And the bad, I guess, probably too, if I'm honest.
We can hop over to our final thoughts and ratings. What do you want to leave off with 28 days? And what do you give it out of 10?
I think just in general, I think for anybody that likes films or movies or whatever you want to, it's just something different. Yeah. I literally can't think of anything that reminds me of this movie.
No.
Unless it's just like a really well-made YouTube short horror.
It doesn't even like feel like any other zombie movie. Like I said, it's just that rage virus is so unique.
It literally is one of the most unique movies I have ever seen. That's the ice cream truck. It's a good day for it.
Damn.
Yeah. I'm getting that Superman Blizzard. You already told me about it.
That's how much we love you guys. We're going to stay here and not go to the ice cream truck.
Yeah. We might rush it, though. Anyways, I think it was really good. No, I'm kidding. No. I just think in general, if you want to see something different, this is it. You know, if you like a really dour, sorrowful horror movie that, it has bright spots and it does have a sense of warmth to it. But I mean, on the whole, it's pretty depressing.
Yeah.
It's just a great Friday night watch.
Yeah.
It is. I honestly think this is one of those movies that I think is great with people, and I think it, depending on who you are, I haven't tried this myself. This might be a great movie to just watch alone too.
I watched it alone. It was.
Yeah. I honestly, there's a part of me that's like, next time I see it, I'm probably gonna try to do it alone intentionally.
Yeah. It was cool.
Yeah.
Score.
I'm gonna give it a very deserved 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Hopefully I don't get copyright strike for the ice cream music. But anyways, I was just thinking, I was like, what if this is like licensed music?
That would
this guy's
suck. They're playing Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah. For me, I'm gonna go solid 8 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Part of me wants to give it a 9, but that's why I gave Return of the Living Dead, and I do think it's a peg better. It's just like you said, the camera quality and audio quality does give it a little hit, but like as a story and the acting and how it makes you feel, it is a very, very good movie. I'm excited again to watch 28 Weeks in 28 Years. I've heard a great thing about Years, so I'm even more excited to watch that one. And we'll obviously have the reviews for you here on both of those.
Yeah.
But off to a great start, to say the least, with 28 Days Later.
Yeah. Let me tell you what, it's a sandwich of greatness.
Yeah.
You know why it's a sandwich?
Second one's a little lackluster.
There it is.
Yeah.
But I will say, all three of them do a great job of making you feel disoriented for very different reasons, and I will tell you why next week.
There we go. That will do it for 28 Days Later. Kory, thank you for coming on, my man.
Always, brother.
Thank you all for watching. If you like what you're watching, check out some other videos. Hit the subscribe button or follow the social links down below. Stick around. We have weeks and years coming. If it's hot where you are, don't skip out. Pause the video. Go get the ice cream truck. But we'll talk to you all soon. Peace.